Tonight, Troy students give the public a second chance at saving lives.
Plus some carnival fun on campus. Stay tuned, TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for October 21st, 2011. I'm Bailey Majors.
And I am Rachel Ellis. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, this past September, the SGA attempted to have a blood drive. However, due to some technical difficulties involving new equipment, it did not go as planned. Now, with those issues resolved, the SGA has partnered up with the American Red Cross once again and are looking for students to help out. Courtney Steele has the story.
The Student Government Association is asking students to roll up their sleeves once again. After having to cancel the last blood drive due to some problems with new equipment, a new date for the blood drive has been set and students are encouraged to lend a hand or an arm.
This blood drive is going to be October 24th, next Monday. It's going to be in the Trojan Center ballrooms from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is going to be a shorter time period, but the staff is going to be doubled, so we really encourage for everyone to come out to this blood drive.
Just like the original drive, the theme for this blood drive is taking care of business.
We are still honoring the three college of business professors who have recently passed because they were always very encouraging to the blood drive and they always came out to it.
Helping out with this drive will not only help those in need, but students will also get a chance to have a little fun.
Since it is in October, we are having a Halloween costume contest. And of course, to enter the contest, you need to, 1, wear a costume to give blood, and 2, you need to give blood or at least attempt to give blood.
The first place winner will receive $50 and the second place winner will receive $25. McGinty said students should give blood because they don't know when it may be needed.
You never know whose life you might save from this. You never know when a natural disaster might happen, and so you are given to a great cause because you never know when something might happen and whose life you could be affecting by this.
Courtney Steele, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Again, the blood drive will take place on Monday, October 24th in the Trojan Center ballrooms from 10 to 4. Walk-ins are welcomed on the day of the blood drive, but students are encouraged to sign up for the blood drive online at www.redcrossblood.org.
Last night, Troy University's Women's Initiative began a speaker series exploring women's experiences on a global scale. Kendra Richards has the details.
Thursday night, Troy University's Women's Initiative organization held their first gathering with a guest speaker from another country. This group was designed to discuss human rights and women issues as well as gender issues internationally.
It's really about gender issues and just human rights all around the world, no matter what, and we welcome any new members.
German speaker Harzette Diaz shared her previous life experiences to teach students that we share some of the same conflicts but in a different way.
We should have more meetings like this where American women or Americans can hear the story from international students or international people from different countries, learn from it, and we also learn from the Americans. And at the end, we look around and say, oh, actually, we go into the same struggle.
Women's Initiative strives to make many students gain an understanding of what other cultures are and what they stand for. The members believe that if we all come together, we will gain more respect for one another.
In America, we take a lot of things for granted. Women, take a lot of things for granted. The speaker tonight said that she knew some girl that wasn't even allowed to look outside of her window, and those are just all things that we take for granted over in America. So yeah, I do have a lot of respect.
Diaz believes that from these meetings, international women can learn that there is hope to expand their opportunities outside of their countries.
There is a way, there is a possibility as a woman, for a woman, to get education and just be free and in your mind, just to be able to do whatever you want and reach your goals no matter what.
Kendra Richards, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Women's Initiative would like to encourage all students, male or female, to come out and support the organization. Well, Rachel, even though the Pike County Fair has come and gone, that still didn't mean that Troy students couldn't have some carnival fun.
That's right, Betty. Last night, the University Activities Council brought the fairway to Troy for a fun break from class. Danielle Wallace has the story.
Troy's Resident Housing Association and University Activities Council partnered for their annual Oktoberfest for students to enjoy Thursday night.
Oktoberfest is an annual fest event that we hold every year. We have things such as music, fun and games for the kids, and we have food out here also, hamburgers, hot dogs, a little punch and water and whatnot, just to get ready for the Halloween spirit.
Students were treated to a variety of food and games, getting them into the Halloween spirit throughout the night of fun.
Great time at Oktoberfest here. I played toilet toss, almost won. Couldn't get my throwing in right though, but I'm having a blast.
For most students in attendance at Oktoberfest, it was a chance to take their minds off the work in the classroom.
I like that all the Troy students can come together, have a good time, get away from the classroom, get away from homework and unwind and meet other people.
In addition to Oktoberfest, there are more upcoming RHA events to look forward to this semester.
Buy your RA in the face and other events, just be on the lookout for that. And the whole purpose of our organization, RHA, is to help a needy family at Christmas. With supplies or whatever they need, just so the kids can have a happy Christmas.
Danielle Wallace, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Next Thursday, the UAC will turn the Arboretum into a haunted house for Troy students. The scary fun is expected to begin at 6:00 p.m.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, Alabama's unemployment rate has declined slightly to 9.8%. State Industrial Relations Director Tom Surtees announced today that the September rate was down from 9.9% in August, but it remains above the national unemployment rate of 9.1%.
Alabama's tough immigration law was supposed to create farm jobs for unemployed Americans, but few of them have shown any interest since the measure went into effect. Many of the Americans who have ventured out into the fields to pick crops have quit after a single day, telling farmers the work is too hard and not worth the pay.
U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder will be in Birmingham this weekend for a service honoring the late civil rights leader and minister Fred Shuttlesworth. Holder will speak at a remembrance ceremony for Shuttlesworth at 16th Street Baptist Church on Sunday night. Shuttlesworth will be buried the next day at Oak Hill Cemetery in Birmingham.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the women's soccer team has a big opponent this weekend. Daniel Percival will be in with sports with all the details.
But first, hear the latest news on President Obama's decision to withdraw troops from overseas. That story is next, so stay with us.
We'll leave Iraq. I'm Danielle Nottingham at the White House with the very latest.
Hi, I'm Mia Hamm. As a professional soccer player, I know how rewarding sports can be and how quickly injuries happen. So I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to ask athletes to play it safe. With my years of training, I know what it takes to become an expert, and orthodontists do too. They're the experts who help people obtain healthy, beautiful smiles. Wear mouthguards, face masks, and helmets to prevent injuries. Keep smiling and visit braces.org.
There's a lot more to somebody being successful in society than just their diploma. We're in the business of making well-rounded individuals.
They taught me so much more than skills. At Troy, they truly believe that one person can make a difference.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We're not trying to be all things to all people, but what we do very well.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
President Obama says all American forces in Iraq will be coming home by the end of the year.
He made the announcement today after talking to Iraq's Prime Minister. Danielle Nottingham reports from the White House.
President Obama says the Iraq war will be over at the end of the year.
I can say that our troops in Iraq will definitely be home for the holidays.
The president spoke to reporters after a private video conference with Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. The decision is in line with the withdrawal deadline former President Bush set in 2008, and it effectively ends the United States involvement in the 8.5-year-old war.
The United States will continue to have an interest in an Iraq that is stable, secure, and self-reliant.
Washington had considered the possibility of leaving several thousand troops to continue training Iraqi security forces, but Iraq leaders, still angry over civilian deaths and Abu Ghraib, refused to give U.S. troops immunity from prosecution. The American government won't stay without it.
About 41,000 American troops are in Iraq right now. Nearly all of those forces will be relocated or sent home.
Concerns remain that the American withdrawal will undo all the gains against insurgents. The White House says Iraq will now be an ally.
It will be a normal relationship between sovereign nations, an equal partnership based on mutual interests and mutual respect.
The U.S. Embassy in Baghdad will still have dozens of Marines to protect it, and thousands of American security contractors will train Iraqi forces to keep the peace. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the White House.
Now Danielle Percival joins us with sports.
So Danielle, no football action this Saturday, but soccer does have some stuff going on.
That's right, it's Friday. Most of the time we are previewing football, but we've got soccer to kick things off. The Trojan soccer team had not had much success on the road so far this season, with only one road win going into last night's match against Western Kentucky. But now they have two. The Trojans defeated the Hilltoppers 1-0 last night in Bowling Green. In addition to being only their second road win of the season, the victory snapped a 4-game losing streak for Troy and helped in securing a place for the Trojans in the postseason. Now Troy must win their next 2 home matches to keep their tournament hopes alive. Their chance to do just that will be this Sunday when they take on Middle Tennessee at the Trojan Soccer Complex. First kick is set for 1 p.m. And it's Friday afternoon, but the Trojan football team hasn't had a walkthrough for their next game. In fact, they won't have one until next week, but it won't be on a Friday either. This team's next matchup comes on Tuesday night, and that means they have a little extra time off to prepare. With their bye week already behind them, the Trojan football team now has their second Saturday of the season off. Troy's next matchup comes Tuesday night, and with the change in schedule, the team has a few added days to rest and prepare. And head coach Larry Blakeney says the time off could play to his team's advantage.
Well, you got to hope it does, and try to plan it where it will be beneficial. I don't know how we're not necessarily burning the woods up right now. We need to find something to hang our hat on. Offensively and defensively.
Since 2006, the Trojans are 6-1 in games not played on Saturday. But in order to keep winning those games, they'll have to get back on the winning track this season as they've lost their past 2 outings. Blakeney says it's just about putting on your hat and boots, or helmet and cleats in this case, and getting to work.
We got to, take the bull by the horns or the bit in our mouth, and we got to go and try to find a way. And whether we're good enough remains to be seen. We'll go find out, though.
Though the team still has to prove it on the field, quarterback Corey Robinson says this team is capable of doing well.
We're very close on some things, but then again, we're a long way off on some things that we just got to work hard. We're a good practice football team. We just got to carry that over into the game. In the past, we've always had game time, teams, and I think we have that. We have that team. We just got to find a way to put it together.
And Troy gets the chance to show whether they have put it together Tuesday night in their matchup in Miami against the Golden Panthers. The game will be televised nationally on ESPN2, and since 2007, Troy is 5-0 in games on ESPN2. After a weekend off, the volleyball team will be hitting the court again, but not hitting the road. Troy will be playing host to the Denver Pioneers tonight. Denver is under 500 on the season at 9-12, but is 6-3 in conference play. Last season, the Pioneers swept the Trojans in Colorado. Troy's chance for redemption comes tonight at 7, but tonight won't be the only chance for Trojan fans to catch the team in action at home. Less than 24 hours later, the team will be back on the court again, this time facing North Texas Saturday at noon. The North Texas squad is only 3-6 in conference play, but the Trojans lost a close one last season against the Mean Green, and they'll be looking to finish stronger this time around. Here's head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick with his thoughts on tonight's game.
Denver has a really outstanding middle. She was the
Player of the Week last week, I believe, Offensive Player of the Week. We had the Defensive Player of the Week, so we get to see if offense is better than defense. We like our kid, but their middle's really, really good, and if we don't play well against her, she's going to tear us apart.
Again, the team plays tonight at 7 against Denver in Sartain Arena. So Bailey, Rachel, no football this weekend, but we've got lots of other Trojan sports in action.
Right.
Volleyball and soccer will both be in town at the end of the weekend, so we encourage the Trojan fans to come out and support the teams and to stay tuned to everything Trojan sports. Be sure to tune in to Trojan Sports Now tonight at 7 and 11.
That's right. We definitely will. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, a new study shows using cell phones may be safer than people think.
Plus, it's felt like fall most of this week, but will these cool temperatures stick around for the weekend? Kayla?
Well, some cooler temperatures may not be like everybody's expecting. I'll get into that just coming up in weather.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
For years, scientists have been studying whether cell phones can cause cancer.
Now the biggest study to date has good news for cell phone users. Tina Kraus has more from London.
The possible link between cell phones and cancer is something that's worried people for years.
I think there is a link, frankly.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
But researchers in Denmark say their new study shows long-term use of cell phones does not cause brain cancer. The largest study of its kind examined 350,000 people who used cell phones over an 18-year period. Scientists found cell users were not at a greater risk of developing brain cancer.
They didn't find an excess risk of tumours in the head or central nervous system tumours, which is reassuring.
But London epidemiologist Paul Elliott says more research must be done on people who use a cell phone for decades. About 5 billion people worldwide use a cell phone, and many say the convenience will always outweigh any potential health risk.
You've got a phone, you use it, and that's it.
Okay.
Hope for the best, right?
So I text more than I talk, so I'm not really worried about it.
Health experts say texting or finding other ways to keep your phone away from your head are always good ideas.
Use a hands-free device because you will reduce the exposure.
Danish scientists admit their study was somewhat limited because they examined personal accounts, not corporate ones, and business people usually spend more time on the phone. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Now Kayla Sheeler joins us for a look at weather.
So Kayla, we've had a variety of weather this week, a couple of sunny days, some days felt like fall. What's going to go on this weekend?
Yeah, we definitely had some interesting weather this past week. We're actually going to have some nice weather coming up this weekend. We're going to have nice sunny weather, a little bit cloudy on Sunday, but it's going to start warming up almost like summer again. But I'll get into that in just a moment. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. We can see that it's nice and sunny out, and it's slowly setting, and it's going to get cooler tonight. And let's take a look at our current conditions. The skies are nice and clear. Temperatures at 67 and is falling quickly. Dew point is at 34. Humidity is at 29% and the barometer is at 30.12 inches and it's falling. With winds coming from the northwest at 11 miles per hour. Taking a look at today's statistics, we can see that we had a high of 70 degrees, and then we're going to have a low of 36 tonight. We didn't have any precipitation today. We had sunrise at 6:51 a.m. and then sunset at 6:05 tonight. Then let's take a look at temperatures across the state. We can see that Mobile, it has a high of 73 right now. It's going to be nice and sunny, nice and no cloudy weather going on down there. Up in Huntsville at 62. Birmingham at 64, Montgomery at 67, Troy at 66, Phoenix City at 65, and Dothan at 67 as well. And all sunny skies all across the state, so it's kind of nice for everybody around Alabama. Taking a look at current temperatures across the southeast, we can see that we have 70s and 60s, ranging 60s more in the Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolina area. But then in Florida, we have 70-degree weather. But over in Texas and Oklahoma, they're experiencing closer to mid-80s, low 80s, and ranges of the 70s up in Oklahoma. Then let's take a look at current temperatures across the United States. We can see that there's a range of 60s and 50s and even 40s already in the Midwest, but coming across at the west, there's even 90s all the way in New Mexico. So we can see that the temperatures are ranging across the U.S. Taking a look at our current surface map, we can see that there's a high pressure system coming up in our area, and there's it's pretty clear all the way out in the west. But let's take a little bit closer look at our area. We can see that there's a high pressure system, so it's keeping us nice and clear, giving us a good weekend coming up ahead. Precipitation forecast within the next 48 hours. We have nothing going on in our area. There is a little bit of precipitation over in Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri area, but it's not going to hit our area. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, we're going to have lots of 30s and 40s. It's actually nice and warmer down south, but still we're getting these colder temperatures that are showing signs of fall. Taking a look at travel forecasts for this weekend, we're going to see that there's nothing going on in our area. Taking a look for Saturday, there's no precipitation. Coming up on Sunday, no chance of rain. Monday, it's going to be nice and clear. Then coming up on Tuesday, it's going to be nice and clear again. So we're going to have some summer temperatures almost like coming up. Now let's take a look at tonight's forecast. We have a clear night, scattered frost. We do have a frost advisory saying that from between 2 a.m. and 9 a.m. that there's going to be lots of frost in the area. So please be careful as you are driving tonight if you are out late. And then the winds are coming from the north-northwest at 4 miles per hour with a low of 36. Tomorrow's forecast is nice and sunny with light winds with a cool breeze coming from the north at 7 miles per hour with a high of 72. So it's going to be nice and sunny. Everybody go enjoy that weather. Go for a picnic at lunch at least. And then taking a look at our 4-day forecast, we can see that on Saturday it's going to be nice and sunny with a high of 72, coming up with a low of 39, so you're still going to want that jacket. And then coming up on Sunday, it's going to be a little bit cloudy with a high of 72 as well with a low of 44. Coming up on Monday, we're going to have a high of 79, which is going to be nice for that home soccer game, and it's going to be nice and sunny out with a low of 47 degrees. But then on Tuesday, it's going to warm up to the highs of 81. So Rachel and Bailey, we're going to have some nice weather coming up over the weekend. It's going to be nice and sunny out, so I hope everybody takes advantage of it since it is the weekend, nobody has school. And then, but later at night, it's going to get a little bit chillier out, so you're going to want that jacket just in case with the wind. It's just a light breeze, but it's going to be cold to the bones for you when you're walking around.
Definitely looking forward to that. Warm temperatures, like you said, maybe a picnic. That'd be good for the weekend.
Yes, it definitely would
nice
be.
relief.
Definitely. Right.
Thanks, Kayla.
You're very welcome.